down and talk, we can figure that out, and it's just boom. Like all of a sudden, everything is very clear and very focused, and they know exactly what action steps to take, and they know how to find these people, and they know how to get these people to refer others, and it's very, very cool. And then that's when things start going, from 0 to 60 pretty quick.
Yeah, sounds good. Me and Bedros were talking, Bedros Koulian, were talking a couple of weeks ago, and he brought up a really funny thing. What one of his students said once, that once you open your mind to the potential that there is in marketing, and you start studying online marketing and direct marketing, it's kind of like losing your virginity again, which is pretty funny about what he said. But when you talk about that lifetime, that lifestyle change, that's kind of what it's like, right? It's a major shift. It's a totally new world.
It totally is, and I think, this weekend I was in Vegas at a seminar completely unrelated to fitness, and I like going to these things, for a lot of reasons, but one of them is just, get outside your little box that you're in, and you go and you see other people doing many things on a much bigger level, and you realize that you can just incorporate the same systems they've used, because a lot of people are just thinking pretty small these days when there's still a lot of opportunity out there. So it's, like you said, once you get your feet in the water and you start to realize, hey, this is all right, then you start to see so many bigger opportunities and people make those dramatic life changes. So there is a lot of hope out there for everyone that's listening. I mean, there's a lot of people that need help with fitness, and there's a lot of ways to deliver your message. And the thing is, with all this internet, multimedia, social networking and stuff, you really only have to connect very strongly with a small number of people in order to create a very comfortable lifestyle. And you don't need 100,000 people. You don't need to be on national TV. You don't need to be the next Biggest Loser trainer to have a great success story. I mean, I know lots of people that 99% of fitness trainers I've never heard of. In fact, I still go to gyms and I never get recognized. So, I mean, nobody knows who I am, let alone, the people that are even more niche than I am. And so you only really need to get your hands in a tight niche with a great product and a really good story and a connection with the people who have a problem, and you give them the solution. And, if you have 1,000 people paying you 10 to 20 bucks a month on a membership site, or if you're selling, a couple thousand ebooks a year at $40 to $100, I mean, it's game over. You're really going to be able to dictate what you want to do with your lifestyle. If you want to continue training, if you want to, get into some other stuff, you want to, cut your training back. I mean, it's a wonderful world, and I really believe that there still is a lot of opportunity. And I come across successful fitness info marketers all the time that I've never heard of, that are making a very comfortable online living. And I mean, if I've never heard of them, I'm pretty well got my ear to the ground. If I've never heard of them, it just shows you. But they're still making a lot of money. It just shows you how much room there is out there.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? I'm going to play a little devil's advocate here. I love to do that. And there is still a very negative connotation people have, especially trainers. I kind of have my ear to the ground on the training industry and what's going on with the average trainer that's still in the gym. And there's still a real negative feeling that they have towards the internet, that it's a real scuzzy way of selling stuff, and the approach in general isn't too reputable. And I've even heard you mention on one of your DVDs that you kind of keep your turbulence training stuff hidden from your general market that you reach through the writing you do for the major magazines and stuff like that. So can you kind of talk about those two worlds and I don't know, just your feelings on the subject?
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I may have been misunderstood, though. I mean, I certainly don't try to hide the turbulence training from the general market, because I mean that really is what I'm trying to get people towards. And I totally understand, like, why some people who are new to this would be, how can you sell an ebook to somebody? You got to be there all the time, right beside them. And it's like, well, they've been selling magazines and books for decades now, and it's no different than that. And in fact, to be honest with you, I'm a much better trainer now, having worked with thousands of people on the internet, than I was even 3 years ago when I was doing time training in the gym, and just because I'm exposed with thousands and thousands of case studies now, and so I'm actually a much better trainer. I'm helping exponentially more people. I don't care if you're running a 100 people boot camp 6 hours a day, you're still only going to be able to serve a small portion of people compared to the number of people that you can serve online. And so we're helping more people. The transformation contest stuff that I'm doing these days is changing people's lives and at a rate that I would never have been able to do offline, and also in personally what I believe in a degree that I would not be able to do offline. So we're just being able to do so much more and help so many more people. And there's a lot of skepticism for people when they first come to the website, and that's fine. And people, trainers are reluctant to do the type of websites that work, which is unfortunate. But I mean, I didn't really get into those types of websites for a while. I mean, the one-page sales letters, but they work, and that's why people use them. And you have to just understand that when you're doing that type of website, that you're not trying to talk to 100 people. You're trying to talk to the 1 to 2 people that it really connects with. And, that's how those things work, is by connecting very strongly with a very small number of people. And as I talked about in those entourage DVDs, you have to be willing to accept that you're going to exclude some people in order to include a smaller number of people at a much stronger level and at a deeper level. And that's how, I'm saying these words, and if 98 people listening to this call think I'm a jackass, that's fine. And if 2 people say, you know what, that is a lifestyle I want to live, and I totally see where he's coming from, and, I got to contact this guy, and I got to get out of this 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. lifestyle that I'm living, and hey, those 2 people are going to be, well rewarded by this connection that we're going to make. And I'm happy to help them, and, some of the other people may eventually give me another try in the future, and I'll be happy to help them too. I'm happy to help everybody. But, when you do stuff on the internet, you certainly get in front of a larger number of people. You're going to have some people that don't like you. You get some hate mail. You get some weird email. You get some odd positive emails a little bit. You get all types of folks, and it's great to interact with all types of folks because that's what makes the world go round. And I certainly just would say to people, if you are truly interested in doing anything, whether it's being online or whether it's opening up your own facility and whatever, that's your business and not really too many other people's business. So you have to be able to wither some criticism, and you have to be able to understand that oftentimes that criticism is coming from people with other things they should be dealing with rather than criticizing you. So there's obviously pros and cons to the internet stuff, but the pros outweigh the cons by 99%.
All right, some good info there, man. And last week I had Ryan Lee on, and he went on a kind of a half-hour rant against the haters. So nothing you said there that he didn't cover already. So that's. Who
was that?
I had Ryan Lee on last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you know him. He went on a very long rant about the haters. So he covered that subject.
Most of anybody. So.
Yeah. All right, man. So
at the end of the day, he's helped more people than all but a few people in the fitness industry could possibly imagine.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And what's funny about Ryan is it's only like the struggling trainers that have a problem with him. All the people, the top Olympic coaches, the celebrity trainers, all the people that are selling books and selling different gadgets all over the place. These are the guys that love him. It's the top people that love him. So. It's really funny how that works.
He's a good guy. Bottom line, he's a very good, giving guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And Craig, you too, man. You give a lot of knowledge, a lot of info out there away for free in your newsletter, through your blogs, and just and for coming on here and talking to me for a little while. So I got to thank you for that, and you're definitely a guy that everyone needs to pay attention to.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.